这总是一个过年的节目，来告诉大家一点，不只是 future， 而是对很多人类来说可能重要的一个讯息。欧美好几个企业进行了一个实验，过去人类呢是7天都在工作，没有周休1日，后来就变成周休1日，之后就变成周休2日。现在有一个最新的研究，如果可以周休3日的话，企业的获利能力会大幅增加，因为工作的效率会大幅增加，这将是一个未来的趋势。
Imagine it's 1914. Henry Ford just created the factory assembly line, and his company's productivity has skyrocketed. A car that took 12.5 hours to assemble now takes 1.5. He decides to double the pay and reduce the workday from 9 hours to 8, and he later reduces the work week from 6 days to 5. The nation is shocked. His workers are thrilled, and his company thrives with increased productivity and loyalty.
福特汽车公司创办人亨利·福特开创了每周上班5天、共40小时的先河。对当时动辄每天上班14小时、每星期工作6天的劳工阶级来说，根本是上帝派来的天使。但即使每周上班5天，已在地表上大多地区实施了数十年，还是有不少企业把加班文化视为理所当然。员工倦怠、庞大压力导致身心受创，甚至过劳死的案例层出不穷。越来越多人开始讨论减少每周工作天数的可能性，但真正促进这项改革发展的，却是被全球视为大灾难的新冠病毒疫情。当疫情爆发，促成居家上班后，许多人才发现自己与家人以往相处的时间太少，工作的压力大到难以负荷。上班族不想再回到以前的日子。
The pandemic is a big part of why we're back on the path.The fact that people don't want to work so many hours, and the fact that there are labor shortages in a lot of places. So that all pushes us in the direction of work time reduction.
The idea of reducing work time has been around for quite some time. However, it is real now. Thousands of companies around the world are actually reducing work time in one way or another.
倡导每周工作4天的 4-Day Week Global， 简称 4DWG， 和美国波士顿学院、英国剑桥及牛津大学合作，进行了一项劳工周休3日的研究计划，也就是在不减薪、不增加每日工时的状况下，每周只工作4天，总时数为32小时。包括美、英、澳等国上百家企业参与这项长达半年的试验。其中，美国、爱尔兰和澳洲的33家企业已完成大部分的实验成果评估。数据显示，所有参与企业都对实验期间的生产力和员工表现感到极度满意。企业获利平均增加了8.14%，更比前一年同期成长超过37个百分点。而另外约70间参与试验的英国企业，虽然最终报告要到2023年2月出炉，但中期研究数据已经显示了相同结果，也就是每周只工作4天的员工，生产力明显增强。
It's important to understand that the 4-day week is relevant not just for white-collar workers, but for blue-collar workers too, and pink-collar workers. Many of the firms that we see doing it today are white-collar firms, so the tech firms have been leading on this, but we're also seeing it in finance, marketing, design, etc. It's not only those firms. We have healthcare firms in our trials. We have restaurants. We have retailers.
实验结果同时发现，4天工作制让员工身心状况更健康。原本每月平均0.56天的病假或事假，试验期间降到了0.39天，降幅达30%。此外，员工离职率降低，新人招聘率更高，全可弥补公司减少工时的人事成本。这也难怪大部分实验4天工作制的企业，最后都决定要继续实施这项制度。
Today's the day that we announce it's going to continue, so it will stay forever.
They weren't taking as long to do things, and they were really excited about actually doing the work because they knew that they're getting this Friday.
或许不少企业主有疑问，要如何让员工在只有以前80%工时的状态下完成一样的工作量？学者说，其实最简单有效的方法就是取消冗长会议。
The secret sauce is work reorganization, cutting out the least productive activities. Meetings are a prime target. Yes, I see everyone nodding. Most companies reduce their frequency and length and the number of attendees. At HealthWise, people save time by messaging colleagues rather than making phone calls, which inevitably include some social chatting. They shifted personal tasks like doctor's appointments to the off day. And yes, the pace of work at the office does go up. Let's be honest, one explained. I'm not goofing off or looking at Facebook, which I was.
研究同时发现，减少工时甚至还能减缓全球暖化。
Is that when people are time stressed, they tend to choose faster and more polluting modes of travel and daily life activities. In contrast, when people get time rather than money, they tend to have a lower carbon footprint. But the bigger reason has to do with the size of the economy. By opting to work less, countries are choosing not to expand production to its max, thereby avoiding additional emissions. Carbon success stories like Germany and Denmark tend to have low annual hours. France and the Netherlands are also low on both carbon and work time.
虽然减少工时有这么多好处，但这帖良药不见得适合所有企业服用。
I had been reading about the 4-day work week and thought we should try to give it a go. And we told everybody at the company we were going to run this program for 10 weeks. And at the end of the 10 weeks, we would survey them again and look at other metrics and decide if this was something that we could actually sustainably do. Everybody got to pick the day of the week that they were off. That's how we sustained it over the course of the 10 weeks. What happened after 10 weeks was that our most valuable metrics, which were employee health, mental health, had declined in our pre-post survey. There are a lot of reasons for that. But ultimately, the goal was to make our employees' lives easier, and we were making them more complicated.
I think the risk of the 4-day work week is around coordination. You've got to be very attentive to coordination of when people are working and when they aren't, so you can get customer needs met. If you just implement a 4-day work week and it damages customer relationships, that's pretty bad.
4天工作制实验结束后，有企业决定重回5天工时旧制度。也有企业更大胆地朝3天制前进，缩短工时似乎已成为国际潮流。日本政府2021年决定把每周工作4天纳入年度经济政策指南推广。阿拉伯联合大公国从2022年起成为全球第一个实施周休2天半的国家。美国则是有国会议员提案将每周工时减少至32小时。不过，有专家认为，政府不应强制企业一定得遵照每周5天或4天工时规定，反而弹性工时才最符合需求。
People are built differently, and some people want to work 40 hours, some people want to work 50 hours. Some people want to work a little bit on weekends. So if you put one policy in place that limits people, it could cause more stress.
I am a proponent of flexible work. I am a proponent of 4-day work week. I believe that you don't have to tell someone how many hours they need to work in the day to do their job properly. The future of work is one in which employees are going to demand and that workforces will have to deliver more flexible work. And more flexible work will ultimately mean 5-day work weeks become obsolete, and that companies, states, federal and local governments will have to change their systems and will have to change the way they look at how long employees work and what productivity actually means.